Hi guys, Lucy aka the Watchbox Diaries here. Welcome to my channel. Now, first seen in the British Watchmakers Alliance collaboration with Christopher Ward, the Jump Hour by Fears is back in a non-limited edition and 3 new colourways. We've got Raven Black, we have Mallard Green, and the watch that I'm reviewing today, the Coral Lacquer. Let's get into it. At 40.5mm, this is a unique case for the Jump Hour. The other Brunswicks come in at 38 or 40mm, but due to it needing to house the Christopher Ward JJ01 movement, it had to be slightly resized. The lug-to-lug of 47mm is fairly reasonable. I would say anyone with a 6.2-inch wrist like myself and above, it'll fit you comfortably. Height-wise, it is on the taller side. It comes in at 12.8mm, however, it does still fit under a cuff. Movement-wise, they decided to continue using the CW JJ01 automatic, which at base level is a Sellita SW200, but it's been heavily modified. Slightly surprisingly, and something I really like about the Brunswick collection is even though it has a dress watch aesthetic, it does still come with 100 meters of water resistance. Boring specs out of the way, now it's time for the important things. What do I like about the watch? Firstly, massive fan of the colour options that they provided. The black and the green are perfectly, elegantly understated, which is the Fears motto. The Mallard Green is boutique only, and that is across every Mallard Green that's ever been released. You have to go into the boutique, which I kind of love the idea of that. Like, if you want that one, go in, have a chat with the team, see the watches. It's kind of an experience. I'm really happy I managed to get hands-on with the coral version because it is a much more fun, playful, bold colourway. And although it's not typically an elegant shade, it is still aligned with some of the previous Fears models, such as the Friends and Family Dial Redcliffe and the bold cherry red Redcliffe that I reviewed previously. If you've not checked out that video, when you're done with this, head on over. This shade is different, but it is still on brand. Now, getting the balance between dial detail and negative space, it can be such a tough task, but I genuinely think Fears have nailed it with this ratio. There is a lot of negative space going on, but not in a way that feels empty. It feels clean, it feels clear, it feels classy. I mean, it is the perfect 3Cs. The minute track and hands are quite small, but because it is literally only the minutes and then you have like a massive hour window, it is perfectly legible, giving a regulator style theme, which is where the hour and the minutes are visually disconnected. It does remind me of one of those 8-ball toys where you ask it a question, except the only answer it seems to be giving me is the time, weirdly enough. You guys should know by now, I'm a fan of a unique design, and this is definitely that. It is such a conversation starter, especially in this colour. People who know what it is, you know they're Watch Fan members. People who don't know what it is but ask you about it, you know they're intrigued by it, and maybe you can bring them into the hobby, just bring them in. There is very little chance of anyone else in the room having one of these in the best way, and I am a fan of that. I love a limited edition as much as the next person. It's great knowing that you have something that not many other people own. It's kind of like you're part of a little club, but I appreciate this design so much. I think it's just such a good addition to the Brunswick collection. I'm glad they've gone for a non-limited edition option. I appreciate them keeping the design the same, but expanding on the complications and dial variations rather than just putting out a new dial colour, which there is nothing wrong with. However, this is just way more exciting. Now, we all know that Fears have incredible attention to detail. I've said it in many of my other videos, and every time I see one, I feel exactly the same. This is no exception. This is such a well executed watch, from the dial to the case to the strap and the clasp. Speaking of, the strap is really comfortable from the get-go. It doesn't need any wearing in, it's just comfortable straight away. And that clasp, I'm almost certain that it's been updated. I feel like it has. The angles and the details added to it perfectly complement like an almost Art Deco look to the watch. Honestly, such a testament to Nick's attention to detail. Not too many gripes for me with this watch. I would say my first one is kind of more of a preference again. I'm a fan of a movement. I like looking at a movement, so I much prefer an open case back on a watch, unless it's super, super boring. But even then, seeing the workings of it just always intrigues me. So as a preference, open case back for me, please. While I did mention earlier that 40.5mm is generally a really good size, I do think that if they released a version in 36mm or maybe even smaller for people with smaller wrists or the ladies, I think it would be an absolute knockout. And Nick, if you happen to be listening, a mother of pearl version would also go down very well. I totally understand why they have done it, but the steel case with the black detailing on the dial is quite a stark contrast. So if they could find a way to bring a little bit of steel onto the dial, I think it would make it a bit more cohesive. Maybe if they did like the minute hand as steel and or put a steel ring on the inner side of the minute track, it might just help blend it a little bit more and take it just to that next level. So my last gripe isn't actually one of my gripes, but I feel like some of you guys might find it a bit of a gripe. And that is the fact that they have the serial number and the model number at the top and bottom of the case, so that when you look down at your watch, if you catch it from the right angle, you can actually see the details on the side. Bit of an odd placement rather than putting it on the back of the dial. It doesn't bother me, but I feel like it might bother some of you. Overall, I love this watch. I'm a big fan of Fierce, and especially this colorway. I wasn't sure how I would feel about the color from the renders, but as soon as I saw it in person, I just fell in love with it. Fierce have this ability to create a classy watch, but manage to keep it looking and feeling current. They blend the two really well, in my opinion. I love the Brunswick. I love the colorways that they've chosen. Appreciate the jumping hour movement and the dial design placements that they've gone for. It all just works really nicely. At 4,250 on the strap and 4,450 on the bracelet, it does come in at the higher price point, I would say. I think Fierce fans are going to absolutely love this, and I genuinely think the majority of people are going to at least appreciate it. I do love this one, but now the thought of a smaller version would just top it off for me. That is it. That is my Fierce Jump Hour review done. Now it's over to you guys. I genuinely love hearing your thoughts about it, so let me know what you think about the brand, what you think about this watch, what do you think about the very bold colorway that they have gone for. Let me know everything in the comments section below. Hopefully you have enjoyed my horological ramblings. If so, and you want to support the channel, you gotta do the YouTubey things. Make sure you have given it a like, you have commented, you're subscribed to the channel, and if you want to be notified of my upcoming videos, all you gotta do is click the little bell and YouTube will do its thing. Until then though, bye.